Hello, boys and girls. I'm going to go over your math at home learning for Wednesday, January 6th. Today, you are going to need a few things for our learning at home lesson. You're going to need to have this page, this page that's in your packet. It says at home math lesson 1/6/21 Wednesday. And then you're also going to need the page that comes right after that. This is going to be your math assignment for you to do on your own today. Our lesson today is going to be about writing a number in different ways. We have been used to just writing the actual number this year, and we are going to practice writing the number in other ways. So the first thing that I want you guys to look at is this paper, and this is a tens frame. We have talked about a tens frame, and we know that when we see a tens frame and it's filled up, that means that there are 10 in that tens frame. So I have my tens frame and I have some counters here. I'm going to put them in my tens frame and we're going to see if I have any left over. Now, once I fill up this tens frame, how much is that? How many does that represent? It represents 10, but I'm not finished. I still have some other counters in my hand, so I'm going to lay those down below that. Now, there's different ways that we can count how many I have. I can go through and I can count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But when I use a tens frame, it makes things just a little bit easier because I can look here and I know that I have a 10 and I have 2 left over. There's 2 ones here. So whenever I have my tens frame, we're going to use that to help us write our numbers in different ways. So here is the first thing that we're going to do. We are going to look at how many tens we have. So how many tens frames do we have that are completely filled up? There is 1 10. 1 tens frame is filled up. So I'm going to write 1 10. Now it says ones. How many ones do I have left over? How many ones do not fit in my tens frame? 1, 2. So there's 2 ones. I have 1 10, that's here, and 2 ones. So this is one way I can write that number. Another way I can write that number is I can make it into an addition sentence. Now, if I look at my tens frame, how many is that? How many does that stand for? Well, we know it's 10. So I can write 10. And then how many ones do I have left over that are not fitting in my tens frame? There's 2. So my addition sentence could say 10 plus 2. Now, the last way that we're going to write that number is we're just going to write how many that we have. So I can think of it in different ways. I can think of if I have 1 10 and 2 ones, how many would that be? Or I can think, what is 10 plus 2? Or I can just look at my tens frames, at my model, and I know this is 10, and I can count on 2 more. 10, 11, 12. So that is the number 12. So we have just shown this number in 3 different ways. We used a model or a picture. We wrote it in how many tens and how many ones. We wrote an addition sentence, and we wrote the number. So we're going to practice doing this today together. Okay, let's look at this math problem. I have our tens frame here, and I already have our counters in place. Now, if I look at this, I'm going to know that this right here is my 10 because it is a tens frame. So how many tens frames do I have? Because it's asking, how many tens? There's 1. 1 tens frame that's completely filled up. So I'm going to write 1 10 because there's 1 10. And how many ones do I have left over that do not fit in that tens frame? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 ones. So there's 1 10 and 5 ones. Now, if I'm going to write my number sentence, I don't just write 1 and 5. I have to think, how much is that worth? How much is a 10 worth? Well, it's worth 10. So I'm going to have 10 is going to be my first addend. And then how many ones did I have left over? There were 5. Now, what is 10 plus 5? Or what is 1 10 and 5 ones? How many counters do I have? I have 15. Let's do another one. Okay, same thing. I have our counters already in our tens frame. Let's try to work a little quicker this time. See if you can help me fill in the blanks. How many tens frames do I have that's filled up? 1. How many ones do I have that are left over that do not fit in the tens frame? There's 2. Good job. So I have 1 10 and 2 ones. Now we're going to write an addition sentence. How much is this 10 worth? It's worth 10 plus how many ones? 2. Good. So what number does this model show? It shows 12. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to let you do one on your own. You're going to need to get your math packet for this. And you're going to find the at-home math lesson. Looks like this for Wednesday. Now you'll fill in this box with the smiley face here in just a minute. But we're going to write our I can sentence first, okay? We're going to write I can, that's already there. I can write numbers. That's all we're going to put on our line, simply because we don't have a whole lot of space. But really, our I can statement, if you were at school, the one that we would say together would be, I can write numbers in many ways, because we are showing today that we can write numbers in many different ways. So I'll give you a second to finish writing that sentence. Now we're going to do our smiley face problem together, okay? So if you will find your model here, I want you to imagine that this tens frame is completely filled up. So take your pencil, and I want you to draw a circle in each part of the tens frame, in each empty box. Here we go. Good job. Now I would like for you to come below that tens frame, and we're going to have a few leftover ones. I want you to draw 1, 2, 3 more circles. 3 more circles. Now, we're going to do our problem over here together. I will help you on this one since this is new. The first thing we need to ask ourselves is, how many tens do we have? So how many tens frames are there? There's 1 tens frame. Good. How many ones do we have that are left over that are not in the tens frame? Remember, those are down here. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 ones. Now we're going to make it into an addition problem. So if I look at my tens frame, how much is that worth? It's worth 10. How much are my ones worth that are left over? They're worth 3. So my question is, how many do I have altogether? How many counters do I have? I can say 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's 13. That's how you do our numbers in different ways. We will practice this more when you guys come back to school. But for today's math lesson, you have to do these 4 models. You will look at the model and write the model in 3 different ways. You'll write how many 10s and 1s. You'll write it as an addition sentence, and then you write the number on the line below it. If you have any questions, let us know. Have a good day.